Good morning, 1-5. I hope you all are awake and ready for your first day of Math HBL. Today we're going to go through our homework from yesterday, which is the translation of real-world situations into algebraic expressions. Okay, let's look at question 1. Question says there are 3 times as many children as adults, so let n be the number of adults, express the number of children in terms of n. So if n is the number of adults and there are 3 times as many children as adults, part A will just be 3n children. Okay, the number of children is 3n. And for part B, they say let m be the number of children. Write down a formula connecting m and n. So basically m is equals to 3n, and that is the formula that we can form because m is the number of children, right? And part A already shows us that 3n is the number of children. So answer is m equals to 3n. Okay, if this is your final answer, remember to put a hashtag or a double stroke, whichever you like. Question number 2. Benjamin is X years old. His brother is half his age. Write an algebraic expression for his brother's age. So since the brother is half of Benjamin's age, we will write half X years old. That's the brother's age. Okay. Benjamin's age 5 years later will be X plus 5. Okay, put the whole thing in a bracket and then you write years old. And for part C, the sum of their age. Okay, so the sum of their age will just be X plus half X. Now remember what we learned yesterday. Whenever we are adding or subtracting fractions, we need to have a common denominator. So this is basically the same as x over 1 plus x over 2, right? And since we want to make it common denominator, we will write down x over 1 as 2x plus over 2. Okay, so this will basically be 2x over 2 plus x over 2, and hence final answer will be 3x over 2 years old. Okay, that's for part C. Okay, good. Let's go on to question 3. Now question 3 says, at a supermarket 5 oranges are sold for $2 and 3 mangoes are sold for $4. Mrs. Lim bought the same number of oranges and mangoes. Using x to represent the number of oranges bought, find an expression in terms of x for the total cost of the fruits. Right, so for question 3, the cost of x oranges is basically 2 over 5x. And since Mrs. Lim bought the same number of mangoes, cost of x mangoes will be 4 over 3x. Now, question says we need to find the total cost of the fruits. Okay, so we're going to add these two fractions. We will get total cost equals to 2 over 5x. Now usually I'll just put the x in the numerator so it's easier to see. 2x over 5, right? Plus 4x over 3. LCM of 5 and 3 will be 15. So we have 6x over 15 plus 20x over 15 because I times 5 times 5. And answer will be 26x over 15. Okay? Don't forget your units, so it will be $26x over 15. Okay, good. Let's move on to question 4. Gina bought 7 skirts at X dollars each, N skirts at $12 each, 2N plus 1 skirts at $15 each, and 4 skirts at $3X each. Write down as simply as possible, in terms of X, N or N, an expression for the total number of skirts that Gina bought. Okay, so we're going to add all the numbers of skirts, which is 7 and 2n plus 1 and this 4. Okay, we're only looking at the number of skirts, we're not looking at the cost. So for part A, right? Why did this go down? Okay, so for part A, I'm going to take 7 plus n plus 2n plus 1 plus 4. Okay, that's the total number of skirts that Gina bought. And if I simplify this, okay, the like terms are n and 2n. let's settle that one first. I'll get 3n, then 7 plus 1 plus 4 will be 12. So 3n plus 12 bracket skirts. This for part A. Now part B says find the total cost in dollars of the skirts she bought. So basically for 7 skirts, they are at X dollars each, so the total cost will be 7X. N skirts at $12 each, so it will be 12N. 2N plus 1 skirts at $15 each, so it's 15 times the whole bracket, 2N plus 1. And then 4 skirts at $3X each, so it's 4 times 3X. Okay, so I'm just going to do the rainbow method, which is 15 times 2N to get 30N, 15 times 1 to get 15, and then 4 times 3X to get 12X. Okay, for these two. And then, of course, 7X plus 12N, I must also add together with the 30N plus 15 plus 12X, right? So the like terms are 12N and 30N to give me 42N. 7X plus 12X will give me 19X, and the 15 remains as 15. Okay, so inside your brackets, put the dollar sign in front because you shouldn't forget your units. Okay, so this is the total cost of all the skirts that Gina bought. Very good. Okay, let's move on to question 5. Question 5 says, Mr. Wee gave you 2 boxes of tennis balls. One box contains Z times 3x minus y balls, while the other box contains 2xz times 3x minus y balls. Express the total number of tennis balls in terms of x, y, and z. Okay, so we're just going to open up the brackets over here and then add the total number of tennis balls. So part A will be z times 3x minus y plus 2xz times 3x minus y. Okay, so how do we expand? We use the rainbow method as usual, and we will expand. Z times 3x, 3xz, and then this will become zy plus 2 times 3, I will get 6, then times x, z times x, which means this will become x squared z, then minus 2xyz. Okay, so once I get that, I'm going to simplify if possible. But I look at all the terms. One is xz, one is zy, one is x squared z, and one is xyz. None of them are like terms, right? Okay, so when there are no like terms, this is your final answer. Alright. Okay, factorize the expression of tennis balls in A. So part B is asking you to do a factorization. Now if you look at part A, the first step is already factorized for you in a way because this group over here, the 3x minus y, 3x minus y is already grouped for you. Okay, so if I wrote it as z, 3x minus y plus 2xz, 3x minus y, right? This 3x minus y is actually the common factor already. So when you factorize out, you pull out the 3x minus y, that entire bracket, and in your second bracket, you'll have z plus 2xz. Okay? Now, you realize that this z and 2xz still has a common factor z, right? So you need to pull out the z as a common factor, put it right in front, and in this bracket now you will have z divided by z is 1 plus 2xz divided by z is 2x. So this is your fully factorized form for part B. Okay, then part C says when x is 3, y is 5, and z is 2, find the total number of tennis balls. So we're just going to sub in the values. Okay, we're going to use the one from part A, 3xz minus zy plus 6x squared z minus 2xyz. Okay, I'm going to sub in the values of x, y, and z. So 3 times 3 times 2, because z is 2, minus zy, right? So minus 2 times 5 plus 6 times 3 square times 2 minus 2 times 3 times 5 times 2. Okay, I just write brackets so that I know that it's multiplication. So 3 times 3 times 2, which is 9 times 2 is 18, minus 2 times 5 is 10, plus 6 times 9 is 54. 54 times 2 is 108. Okay, and then we have minus 2 times 3 times 5 times 2, which is 60. So when I simplify this, I will get 18 minus 10 plus 108 minus 60, you will get 56. So the total number of tennis balls is actually 56.